So it took us 2 weeks of waiting to finally get the outcome of Luffy versus Katakuri, and I'm not going to sit here and say I told you so, but because I already gave my reasons as to why I think Luffy needed to take the win more than Katakuri. One, losing to Luffy does not devalue Katakuri as a character at all. Or two, it hypes up Wano even further because now Luffy has not only the Snake Man revealed, we don't really know what the setback is. In fact, if anything, it looks like it's just exhaustion. We get to find out in the next coming chapters Luffy can't use Haki for 10 minutes like Power Man, but we don't really know. So it seems like Luffy is exhausted, but he's still able to move because he's still able to stretch his arms out of the hole that's created by Katakuri from that double blow. Or I should say the blow that Luffy connected, because it looked like Luffy used the future sight to dodge Katakuri's last attack, the Dice Mochi. That blow initially connected Katakuri, and I think that's the blow that took him down. Even though I have to admit, Oda did tease the draw a little bit, a lot actually, making you think this time was actually going to happen. We had the Charlotte family members at the beginning of this chapter talk about Katakuri being unbeatable, unstoppable. Big Bro Katakuri's been perfect. It's been highlighted throughout this entire fight that Katakuri's never sat down once. He's never looked up at an opponent. Instead, that's kind of the same thing here, okay? And I think that's one of the reasons why Luffy covered Katakuri's face by the end of this chapter, is because, one, that goes about such principle. He's never looked up at an opponent before. And that's exactly what happened here. So I think Luffy not only did that for respect, but he also covered Katakuri's mouth so if someone should come into contact to protect his identity. So that was kind of cool. So this is all coming back to a Luffy Katakuri reunion. I don't think he's going to join the crew like I've been stating. I think if anything, he'll become an ally like Bellamy. He may take a piece of that memory card, so let's meet again. Because he literally asked the question in this chapter, what are you going to do? Are you going to come back to the Mirror World to defeat Big Mom? And Luffy says yes, because remember, he already pledged the pledge to take away Sanji. That was his reason for being here, not to fight Big Mom, which is why that fight hasn't happened yet. But then the big question becomes, is Luffy actually going to return to Whole Cake Island, but he really doesn't have a reason to? But then I'm thinking about, Luffy already made a pledge to defeat Kaido. We know where he's heading with that, and whether or not he can defeat Kaido or not, Luffy's already made the pledge to try. Luffy already called out Big Mom in Fisherman Island by saying, yo, I'm gonna come kick your ass all over the New World. So maybe they will come back to Whole Cake Island. I found it odd that question was answered. But my question is this: will Katakuri actually be a part of the Big Mom Pirates by that point in time? Because if he raises the Big Mom for this fight happening in the first place with Katakuri and Luffy, is to stop him from, because he knows he's going to be a threat to Big Mom in the future. No pun intended. So now he has already come to respect Luffy, and literally he passed out. So my question is this: is he going to be a big part of the Big Mom Pirates by that point in time if Luffy returns to Whole Cake Island? And one thing I do think is Pudding is definitely not going to be a part of that alliance either, because it looked like that was a final farewell to Sanji. Like, she's going to do she already stated that she's going to do her own thing after this arc. She's not going to be part of the Big Mom Pirates anymore. So I got to wonder what's this all setting up. It was also teased that this was going to happen on Elbaf because of how Big Mom's past, but it seemed like, if anything, I don't know if that's going to be the case anymore. It's going to be interesting unless something happens to Big Mom in this arc. And the only thing I can think of is something that Capone mentioned in this chapter, and it seems something so simple, but it could actually work. He literally stated, "Let's just chuck this cake in the ocean." And my third thought is this: well, that would leave kind of like Capone, Big Mom, as far away from the sunny as possible. But in my mind, I'm thinking, wait, Big Mom's crazy enough to actually follow the wedding cake, even if it's in the water, because look at this entire arc. So could that actually work? And the moment she goes into the ocean, she's a dead woman because she's a devil fruit user. So that could actually work if Capone actually tries that, but I don't think that's happening because Oda dedicated a lot of chapters to Sanji developing this cake alongside Pudding, and we had a final moment with Pudding and Sanji. So I don't know. That's the only thing that can work on Big Mom at this point, but I don't see that happening, especially for a Yonko. No, I'm like, no, that'd be too way anticlimactic. It makes sense because their own appetite will be their own doing. In fact, I actually foreshadowed this early on in this arc, but no, that's way too simple. And remember, what is the point of Luffy stating that he's going to come back and kick her ass if it's not going to happen? And Katakuri saying, yo, you have the ability to see the future. That's not just done by accident. I think it's all leading towards a rematch, and maybe it's not going to happen on Elbaf at all, given after what happened in this chapter. But the only reason for Luffy coming back to Whole Cake Island because everything else he's done. He's got back Sanji, he saved the Vinsmokes for now, and he's got the info on the raw poneglyph thanks to Brook, and technically he's also got the real poneglyph copies as well. So that's getting back to Robin. Luffy's got a power up. He's also got a future sight observation hockey now, which is going to hype up Wano even further. It depends on what happens to Big Mom by the end of this arc. And Luffy's already taken the win, so that hasn't been extended until chapter 900. I think the only thing that makes sense right now is for something to happen to Big Mom, where her story goes after this arc. Does it go on Elbaf or does it remain on Whole Cake Island buried with the Charlotte family? But for one thing's for sure, I definitely do not think we've seen the last of Karakuri. I think if anything, the way that Luffy placed his hat over the Mafia hat over Karakuri to protect not only his identity, I don't think Luffy did that unless it's not going to come back for Karakuri to actually repair debt in the future. No pun intended. So that was kind of cool. Another thing that was set up in this chapter is, like I said, we had the final moment with Sanji and Pudding, because Pudding, it was stated that we're enemies now, so you can't be seen with me. But Pudding, if you notice, was like she was conflicted because she said, no, it's not that, it's not that. She was like that, trying to apologize for actually deceiving Sanji early on in this arc. I even tried to kill you, so I should be the one thanking you. And Sanji literally stated, this is a whole ploy, this is a whole act by Big Mom, but I'm glad my fiance was you, Pudding. And Pudding's reaction was the same as she had on the altar, where she cried after Sanji complimented her third eye. That's kind of cool. I think that's... And the title of this chapter was Last Request. And Pudding literally stated, I have a request, a final request, my last request to you, Sanji. It cuts away after she takes the cigarette out of his mouth. Now, that can be one of two things. Either that was a kissing scene we didn't get to see, which may kill a lot of Sanji fans, especially if they want the Pudding Sanji shipping to take place. So we think, or it's gonna be that last request is gonna be revealed on chapter 900, and maybe it has something to do with Sanji taking Pudding away from Whole Cake Island. Because remember, Pudding stated that, mentioned earlier, she's done with Whole Cake Island after this arc. After everything's been concluded, she wants nothing more to do with Big Mom. We know her abilities are, hasn't awakened yet. If anything, that seems like a plot device for another Yonko to snatch her, Blackbeard, to snatch her along the way because of her abilities. But that can happen. At the same time, another thing that was foreshadowed is the indefinite appearance of the Vinsmokes, because when Sanji was observing Commander Oven and the rest of the Charlotte family members, he literally stated, if Luffy comes out of that mirror world and tries to fight, there's no way we can win this. We're going to be slaughtered. So even Sanji knows we can't deal with this. So I was kind of hoping for... It was pushing towards Sanji versus Oven, or Sanji versus Commander Snack, because he was brought back after all this time. I don't know if we actually got to see her appearance or not, because the last time we saw Snack, he was kind of silhouetted. Two fights that I could see for Sanji to get that power up, but maybe they... Unfortunately, I don't know if it's going to happen or not now, because it looks like everything's put towards the Vinsmokes coming in, and maybe they're the reason that Luffy and Sanji get back to the sun. It's like, no, go on ahead, we'll hold the fort. Kind of like I've been saying a while back, that what if the Vinsmokes actually become the wall for Sanji to escape? And that would make perfect sense. I think personally, I think Reiji should be the one to say farewell to Sanji, since she did it in the flashback. It would kind of be poetic justice in that regard. But Sanji's been given his freedom instead of like saying, "Yo, we want nothing more to do with you," like he was stated by his father. So, or in this case, fake father, because we know his real dad is death. So, my final question is, what's going to happen with Smoothie? Because Sanji told Nami and the rest to stay where you are, because I'm bringing Luffy over to you, so don't go over the whole... It looks like Luffy's going to meet up with Sanji on the deadline with 5 minutes to go. Go figure. Where they're at, they're just going to continue to be shot at by Smoothie, who's increasing the size, unleashing shockwaves. So what do you do here? And we have not seen anything from Smoothie other than her juicing females and obviously increasing the size. She hasn't had a serious 1v1. I mean, she only has a brief confrontation with Reiju, and if anything, that's the only fight I can see in the future. But are we going to see Katakuri again? And if we do, will it be on Hawkeye Island or somewhere else? In the chapter where we have Montdor talking with Big Morgan. So once again, Big Morgan's hyping up the gossip of what happens if Big Mom actually fails in this attempt because of what happens with Straw Hat Luffy. So this could be big news. This could be big news. I guarantee, because the way they're hyping this up, because we know what follows the revelry, and I've already stated this, because Big Mom has already taken the photo of Big Mom falling off the top of the wedding cake, I get the feeling that is going to reach Akainu by the next arc. It may even reach him by the revelry, and after Wano, parties are going to shoot up. So, thoughts are down below. That's it from me. Thanks so much for watching. Like this review if you did appreciate that. Subscribe to help more One Piece. Catch you guys later.